Well, here we go. Indiana Jones, one of the ultimate movie iconic characters, the ultimate action adventure hero, and arguably the greatest in cinematic history. Probably not too many would disagree with me. This is Collector's World. My name is Dr. J. If you are watching this and watch the other episodes in this series or any of the other stuff on my YouTube channel, Dr. J for PM, do me one big favor and hit that subscribe button right above me there. We're going to talk about Indiana Jones today. There's a lot of stuff out there, and I only got 10 minutes to do it in. So, here we go. We're going to start right away with, I want to get these out of the way. The Indiana Jones cassette tape. It's not what you think. It's not the soundtrack. It's actually the movie on cassette. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now, these things, they were really great back in the day, and I don't see too many of them nowadays. I've seen a few for the Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's essentially the movie on record or cassette. Haven't really seen them on CD. With some of these classics, but they didn't have CDs back in those days. But it's the actual voices of the character and of the characters, and it's the film on cassette and record. Great, and they do a great job on those, and they are a heck of a package and very rare, hard to find. These are the trading cards. Indiana Jones. There were trading cards on all 4 films. While there was on Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm not sure about Last Crusade. If there's a card set on it, I want it. I've never seen it, but, there might be. Rare that I wouldn't know about it, but hey, it happens. Look at this. This is the box set on the movie soundtracks. All 4 soundtracks, plus a bonus CD with great photographic booklets, interviews with Spielberg and Lucas. That's a heck of a package. Get that, baby. Books. I don't see too many of these nowadays where they have the making of, right? The making of Raiders of the Lost Ark. But this is a fantastic book, getting pretty rare, and has a great photo insert there on the making of the film. It's hard to find those things nowadays, but well worth the effort if you do. Of course, the movies were in novel form. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and I'll show you Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I have that in hardcover in a couple of seconds here. Juvenile novels, right? The junior novels, they were called. And, they had them on the films, and they had great photograph inserts, the whole deal. Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. And the great thing about a universal character like Indiana Jones is it transcends the times, right? This is 2010, and they're still making stuff. They're still making collectibles for us collectors and us fans, and some good stuff, too. They redid the novels. They redid the junior novels. Raiders of the Lost Ark, here it is. And, boy, I'll tell you, it has the story in, junior novel form, and it also has fantastic photographs on the inside. There's the Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and, of course, the reason why they probably redid those books, besides the classic status, was the new film, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Thing with Indiana Jones is there's a lot of books coming out that are unofficial books, and they have, photographs and production history and, history of the characters, the films, the whole works. They're not bad. I do like them. I do get them, and this is an example of one. Indiana Jones was a comic book series, a famous Marvel comic book series, which I'll show you in a second, but they also were, another company tackled Indiana Jones and did a great job, too. I mean, the artwork is fantastic. And Indiana Jones was put together in a compilation book form, of all the comic book adventures, 2 volumes. And there's the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in hardcover form. Speaking of that comic book series, it started off with the, comic adaptation of the film. Raiders of the Lost Ark was the 3-issue set. And then, of course, the Temple of Doom. Again, I have not seen The Last Crusade. If there is a comic book series on that, I want them. Wonder how it escaped me. But I guess that happens in the collector business. Then, of course, Indiana Jones began a 34-issue run with this issue right here, issue number 1, Marvel Comics. And for us fans, I'll tell you, it was fantastic. It was like having Indiana Jones, doing an adventure for us every month, as opposed to a film, every few years. And again, it was a 34-issue series, and it was pretty good, if I do say so, and I do. It was quite the fantastic comic issue, and ended with issue number 34, and that was a wrap on the comic book series. Collector's albums, souvenir books, you might want to call them. Raiders of the Lost Ark, again, great production history, fantastic photographs, pre-production, filming, post-production, you name it, it's all in there. Temple of Doom, the official collector's edition. Look at that. Is there not a cooler character than Indiana Jones? The movie storybooks. The movie storybooks. Last Crusade. Again, great production, great, story text. Somewhat aimed at the youngsters. And great photographs. The Hero is Back, Indiana Jones. This is the Collector's Movie Magazine, the official magazine for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You just saw the Last Crusade storybook. This is the hardcover Raiders of the Lost Ark storybook. Temple of Doom storybook. The source books, which are, of course, the game books, but nonetheless, great, great books. And, they cover everything. Character histories, you name it. And they do have a fantastic photo insert on these babies. I am not kidding. Well worth it. Pick them up. Look at that. The source book for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Temple of Doom, the source book, just as good. And collector's guides. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Harrison Ford, of course, was the cover boy for many, many magazines, both mainstream and otherwise. Vanity Fair always gets a sneak peek at the movies before the rest of us do. But Harrison Ford, basically, of course, to plug the film, was on the cover of everything. There were Indiana Jones t-shirts, of course, Indiana Jones action figures, you name it. Empire did a great magazine. Indy Comes Home with a protective cover and a couple of magazines inserted inside. Very, very impressive. A photographic journal of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Very, very, very cool. Indiana Jones, this is a recent collectible. A fantastic book. Oh, look at that. With a foreword by Indy's son, Henry III, right? The ultimate guide for Indiana Jones. Life magazine, the famous Life magazine cover from 1984. Life magazine, of course, no longer being publicated, I guess is the word, right? Now, this was the photo book that came along with the movie on cassette that I showed you earlier that we started with, the Temple of Doom. And the great thing about this is, even though it's meant for youngsters to follow along with the movie, they have no idea, or maybe they do, that they are presenting us collectors with a heck of a collectible on the film. This is what started it all for me. The very first collectible I ever got back in 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark. There it is, the movie on record, and it is just that. Record folds out, of course, and has a great separate photo insert on the inside. And, of course, the movie on record. And look at that, featuring the voices of Harrison Ford, Karen Allen. For me, back in the in 1981, this was the pre-days before things like, DVD, and it was even the dawn of the video age. So, when we got something like this, it was the coolest ever. I listened to that record over and over and over. And we're going to wrap it up right now with a poster. I mentioned there were posters of Indiana Jones. There are all kinds of posters, but this is my favorite of all time. Indiana Jones in action, the ultimate action-adventure hero, the coolest guy forever and ever. Amen.